What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feel so.
Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the podcast and the channel. I wanted to just get your input on this because I have my thoughts and my opinions about the situation. And to be honest with you, I don't really care that much, but I just find it a bit interesting that a lot of people are upset because Katt Williams' brother has done an interview, one, and two, mainly, this is the main reason why I believe people are upset. He chose to do an interview where he sat down with Tasha K. I don't know what it is about people that get so angry with the interviewer, especially when the person is Tasha K, because she's giving people a platform to share their stories. It's their stories. And listen, we don't know if the people's stories that they are talking about are true, but also we have to really understand too that, like they say, there's three sides to every story, that person's side, the other person's side, and then there's the truth. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really like that narrative because, to be honest with you, that narrative is always, when anyone says that, that is always to insinuate that every person that has a story is lying. And that's not true. Because that, if you say that about everyone, where it's their side and there's their side and then there's the truth, that's to say that no one is telling the truth ever. And that's just not fair. It's not fair to say that no one is ever telling the truth. So there's always three sides to every story. Now, yeah, everybody's going to believe what they want to believe. But if someone was a victim of something, unless they were proven as a liar, and I know some people like to say, well, they can destroy someone's character and that's not right to do such and yada, yada, yada. But that's why victims are never really seen with a lot of respect for the most part as a whole because of that type of thought. When people are pretty much saying, even though we know the justice system, it's supposedly innocent until proven guilty, but we really know that the justice system isn't fair. And also a lot of times they do not treat it as such. So the victims, they get treated more as the criminal than the actual victimizer. I'll tell you guys real quick, and then I'm going to get into this story. I feel like that sometimes in my own situation because I was involved in a serious automobile incident. I don't even call it an accident because the chick was driving reckless. She pulled out of a parking lot, hit me at such a high rate of speed that she pushed me into the intersection, totaled my car. I was injured. And as a lot of us women, especially Black women, do, we don't really take things as serious when it happens and we brush stuff off and, oh, I'll be okay. I'm all right or whatever. And over the years, I have not been. I really was seriously injured in that accident, even though, God bless, I was able to walk away from it, sort of. But I have a lot of accident injuries that I've been working through, and it has been a struggle. Both airbags deployed. I got hit by the airbag. That's not even a criminal situation. The chick, she was 100% at fault, but she wasn't like arrested. It wasn't a DUI situation or anything like that. But yet and still, I'm being treated like I was the one in the wrong by the at-fault party's attorneys. I had a deposition in June, and I was like really offended by the questions that I was being asked, and even like the way I'm being treated still to this very moment because the case still is going on, and it pisses me off because I'm telling my attorney, I'm the one who is the victim. Why am I being treated like this? It's outrageous. But I'm just saying that to say I may not have been the victim in like an assault situation like that, but I'm just saying overall, it is amazing to me how victims get treated. But I digress. Katt Williams' brother has done an interview with Tasha K, and it wasn't something that just happened last weekend and she's airing it this weekend. The interview drops tomorrow night, Friday night. But I want to share this clip. And then I also want to share a post that she did on her Instagram account about it, because apparently a lot of people are upset with her because she did an interview with Katt Williams' brother. And I don't know why. I'm like, what is it about Katt Williams that is so I don't know, so saintly that people feel like he needs to be protected at all costs? Why? Because he went on Shannon Sharp's podcast to expose a bunch of people, even though a lot of people feel like he was not lying about the things that he said, he was telling the truth or whatever. But yet and still, he went on Shannon Sharp's podcast to respond to a lot of the people that Shannon Sharp has had on his podcast to interview them. So he came on there and to expose what he calls all liars. So you mean to tell me that he can expose people, but somebody who knows him can't expose him for what they say is their, situation? It actually was their experience. And you're upset with the interviewer because they gave this person a space to sit down and speak. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, guys, let's get into this clip because the interview airs tomorrow night. But yeah, let's get into this clip. All right, so you can see Katt Williams' brother sitting right there across from Tasha K. Clearly, yeah, I can see the family resemblance a little bit, but let's go ahead and get into it.
You and this child migrate from Cincinnati, Ohio to California. When I arrive to California and I come to my brother's home, I find my two abusers, my two childhood abusers, are playing house together. When I find out my brother and my cousin, two people who abused me as a child, are playing house together and got a pretend child, how long does it take that child to enter the world of mental turmoil when they get old enough to realize the person they thought was their daddy is technically their cousin?
When he say messing with you, what did he do?
I'm a grown man saying a man abused me.
Sexually?
How long can you hold on to it? Seeing the person that did it on fucking TV, in movies.
Listen, I don't know if he's telling the truth, but he's sharing his experience, and he's sharing his experience on Tasha K's platform. She gave him the opportunity to come on and speak, and this is what he is saying. I don't know if what he's saying is the truth, but what is different from him sitting either with Tasha K or any other person that had a platform where they would be able to interview him and him sharing his story? Or let's just say he decided he wanted to write a book. The book gets picked up by some publishing company. The publishing company, they pay him a stipend or whatever, an advance, whatever, for the book deal. He writes the book. He's going on different platforms, Gayle King, on whatever season was, CBS This Morning, other places to promote the book. So people will buy the book and read it. And it's him sharing his story. Whether a bookstore carried the book that he is selling, or he wrote, and they, he had a book deal, and they decide to purchase copies of the book to sell in their bookstore. When people go out of their way to boycott the bookstore because Katt Williams' brother wrote a book that they're selling in their store, I don't really know what it is so different about him doing an interview on Tasha K, where she's going to be putting this interview on her app. And I don't know if, she says she does not pay for interviews, but she will pay for the travel and, lodging possibly, but she doesn't pay people to do interviews because no one could ever come back at her and say that, well, she paid me to say what I said. So that clearly is not happening. So I don't know why people are getting upset with her because this person is choosing to share their story. Is Katt Williams some protected saint that he is absolved from people talking about him. Like he went on Shannon Sharp's podcast to talk about all of these other people. Now I'm quite sure the people that he talked about, I'm sure they're rubbing their palms together, reveling in this. It's like, okay, payback time. I don't know. I'm saying it's possible. But I'm just like, why are people so upset with her about him sharing his story? She's interviewing the guy, she's asking him questions. He's saying what he experienced or what he went through. She's not putting any words in his mouth. So people are saying, I'm unsubscribing, I'm unfollowing because of this interview. And I was like, wow, is that serious? Like, really, is it that serious? And I guess it is for some people. So on her Instagram, she wrote this post. She said, to be under my recent comments on every post. So it wasn't a post just about this interview publishing on Friday night on her app and promoting people to go and subscribe to the app so they could check out the interview. On every single post, she says, and video saying that you stopped watching me because of an interview I did weeks ago or months ago. You're no longer credible, Tasha, because she did this interview. Okay. You say, this is why I unfollowed you. Whatever you got to tell yourself, I guess. Katt Williams' baby brother interview drops this Friday on TashaK.com. We listen and we don't judge. I have to say, I think that makes sense. I don't really understand what all the hoopla is. And I don't know if all of the people are just upset about this one too, because it could possibly be fans of the person that she was in litigation with years ago. That situation has since, been worked out, but the past is a past. And some people are still salty about that just simply because this other person did an interview with her that exposed that person's current boyfriend, soon to be baby daddy. It could be that too. But I'm just saying, my point of all of this is, why is it Tasha K's fault that this person decided to do an interview with her and share their experience, and now they're upset with her about it? That just doesn't make sense to me. This person right here said, I will still listen, but let it go in one ear and out the other. Why? Is it protect Katt Williams at all costs simply because he was calling out a lot of people last year that you feel like was worthy of getting dragged, but he is not worthy of it? I don't really understand that. I don't know when Katt Williams became some patron saint that needs to be protected and covered under the blood of Jesus. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm trying to understand it because it really doesn't make sense to me. So when I saw this, because I saw that this interview was being promoted and it hasn't even come out yet, there have already been a lot of people that have just been really upset about the fact that Katt Williams is being talked about. And this is his brother. This isn't like it's some random chick who said that he ran through her years ago and now I want to tell my story or whatever. And hey, I'm not saying that there haven't been people similar to that who have gotten interviews before. Like, I believe there was this chick that said she was Shaq's side piece for a while or whatever. Like, who really cares, girl? Okay, share your experience if you want to. And it's content. So I guess, some people were here for it, some were not. I'm just saying, she has given a space for people to do their interviews. It's not always going to be the actual personality. Sometimes it is going to be the people who were connected to the personality at one point in time, and maybe they're not anymore, whatever. But that's nothing new. There have been people who have been connected to these celebrities for years. They didn't get the opportunity to do an interview. They may have written a book, or if they did an interview, it got squashed. People didn't really know about it. And people, even in those situations, because they feel like they don't know, but they feel like they know the celebrity, they're not going to believe this person that's saying anything negative about their fave. And that's what it is. It's just the way society works. You feel like you know these people. You don't really know them. But because this person is coming out and they're not saying things that are favorable about this person that you feel like you like, you may not admit it, but you may be idolizing a bit and somewhat admiring. The reason why a lot of people don't want to hear those negative things about those people, because in some way, somehow, they feel like it reflects on them. on their character, because it's like, what does it say about me if I admire someone when they were doing shit like that? Listen, they're freaking gospel artists, okay? Preachers, all kinds of people. We don't know these people. You may have liked a sermon that they preached. You may have liked a song that they sung or wrote, or multiples. We don't know how any of these people really are living. So that's why you can't get wrapped up in the person. You could admire the content, you could admire the work that they've done. But when you get so wrapped up to the point where if somebody comes out and they share their experience of what they went through with this person, that you are just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't believe it. And damn the person that gave that person a platform to speak on. F the person that gave them a book deal and allowed them to write a book talking about my fave, versus just either choosing not to listen to it and still like their art or the content that they produce or whatever it is, and not taking it personally, then yeah, I guess it does kind of say something about you. I don't really know, but that's why you just can't take these people at more than surface level, because you don't really know them. And Katt Williams is not a saint. I mean, seriously, there are a lot of people that have alleged things about him over the years. It doesn't take away from some of the things that he said in the sit down. I don't even like to call it an interview that he did with Shannon Sharpe, because it wasn't even really an interview. Yeah, Shannon may have had some cards and asked a few questions, but ultimately that was Katt Williams' platform that day. Should have been called Club Cat. I don't know, or Cat, Club Cat Willie or something like that, because it wasn't Club Shay Shay that day. He was just on his platform, but that was his show. So all of the viral moments, all of the views that Shannon Sharpe got off of that, and he got paid. I didn't hear anybody dragging Shannon Sharpe. There may have been some, but I'm just saying, I didn't hear anybody dragging Shannon Sharpe about Katt Williams coming on his platform to drag all of these people and expose all of these people. Like he said, all liars will be exposed. Shannon Sharpe, Shay Shay, he's bragging about how much money he made off of that one interview. And then you got people mad at Tasha K because she gave his brother the opportunity to sit down. I'm unsubscribing. I'm unfollowing. Really? Okay. But I'm just saying, I wanted to find out what you guys are thinking about this, because to me, it just seemed a bit weird. I don't get it. I'll never understand everything. But like I said, I just want to know what you guys think about it, because I really don't believe that she did anything wrong. I haven't seen the interview yet to judge the actual interview. But what I do not believe is wrong is her giving this person the opportunity to share their story. Whether the story is true or not, we don't know. But really, that's not even for us to judge. Because, yeah, we've seen over the years that because of Cardi B, a lot of people felt like it was open season on Tasha K. Anytime she talks about anything, that just means she's a liar. And that's just not fair. There have been so many things that she's exposed before and after that situation that have turned out to be actual factuals, true, that she does not get the credit for. I just don't believe that that's fair. A lot of people, and especially when it was just for their benefit, like that lion Larry Reid, he wanted to try to paint her as a liar because he got exposed by one of, not the only one of his accusers, where she did an interview with him, Levontre Andrews, and did a 3-part series. PPP, Pastors, Pimps, or Pedophilies. And so because of that, when he initially wanted to have a connection with her that would be mutual, that not even mutually, but would be beneficial for him, when she was like, I don't mess around with pedophilies, you can have that. And she, gave Levontre the opportunity to share his story and speak his piece. Then he wanted to come out and say, oh, she's a liar. And she's a liar because that's documented in the court. Oh, well, why didn't you feel that way when that situation already happened and you chose to hook up and connect with her after the fact? Nigga, get the F up out of here. That's what I'm saying. It just baffles me when people are like that. I can't help the way people are, but I have the right to speak my piece about it. And that's just what I'm feeling right now. So I just wanted to talk about that. I want to know what you guys think about it. Like I said, I don't believe she did anything wrong by giving the gentleman an opportunity to share his story. I haven't heard it yet, so I can't say whether it's all BS yet or not. And even if that's my opinion, that's my opinion. I was not there. I don't know what really happened. But there again are some things that have been questionable about Katt Williams. Just because he said some things that people agree with doesn't mean that he's Jesus Christ in the flesh. He's not. He is not. He may have done some helpful things for some people, whatever. Great. Congratulations. That's your job. That's your duty. Once you've arrived to a certain place, you should be doing more to help people. So I'm not even going to say, good job. I mean, I appreciate you doing it, but you should be doing more, and more people should be doing more that have the means to do it. So I say all of that to say, just because someone has done some good deeds and things like that, it doesn't take away their past, that they may have done some terrible things in the past and possibly never was held accountable for it. There's a lot of people living that have never been held accountable for the dirty deeds that they did in their past. And they feel that in present day, because they're doing some good deeds, then it absolves the dirt that you did in the past. Not if you've hurt people. A lot of people are still walking around with those hurt and scars and pain, real deep pain. And money does not fix all of those situations. And it's even worse, like he said in that clip, it is something when you see the person who, I'll say allegedly, but he says, did some things to him, and they're on TV all the time. I couldn't imagine what that feels like. I know I feel a certain type of way if I just see somebody's name sometimes, or picture or whatever, that did something terrible to me in the past that I'm trying to still get over. So I get it. And especially when it comes to family, don't even get me started on that. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, guys. The interview drops tomorrow night. I definitely plan on listening in because I really am interested to see what he is talking about. But again, I can't say if his story is true or not, but I don't believe that Tasha K did anything wrong by giving the guy an interview. It's like, what do you want from her? Does she have to give people a lie detector test before they can sit down and tell their stories to make sure that they're being honest? Nobody does that. And, I don't know if she does it, but there's probably some sort of disclaimer saying, these people's stories are their stories. I'm just giving them an opportunity to speak. I'm not saying that these things actually did happen, but you have the right to listen and express your viewpoints and your opinions on the situation as well. I'm not here to say that these things indeed definitely are true or did happen, but if they are true, I will say that I feel a whole lot different about this person than I did before, and rightfully so. So anyway, guys, I want to know what you think about it, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to sit out.